right, y'all. Welcome back to the Pete Street Podcast. It's your boy Pistol Pete, part 2 of the Friday Night Fright Night.
That's right. What's going on, guys? Welcome back.
Welcome back.
We got cut off kind of early, man. Loa had some primo stuff coming out.
Yeah. So I was just gonna touch on the topic where Peter was talking about a bar stool and those hooded figures, man. I had an experience over here on the east side one time when I was staying at my mother-in-law's. And my ex, man, remember she was hungry and they're maybe almost 1 a.m. She was craving some beef and bean burritos from Awesom's. You know, everybody knows those. And we went to go get them. And on our way back, to my mother-in-law's over there by Head Start, I remember I was going by that cemetery coming down, and I saw a black hooded being, because I don't know what else to call it, cross the street, man, pretty fast. And I thought it was just me seeing things, but it wasn't until my, at the time my wife smacked me and was like, what the hell was that? I'm like, oh, you saw it too? She's like, yeah, what the hell was that? I'm like, I don't know. So let's find out. So I sped up. And by the time I sped up and I turned where I had seen him, it was already down 2 blocks and it was making a quick left, going towards my mother-in-law's. So I sped up as fast as I could, trying to catch up. By the time I made that left turn going to my mother-in-law's, it was already down, all the way down, turning right towards Rancho Road in Pecos. And I just couldn't believe something can move that fast, man. I mean, I was going pretty fast, trying to make it to see where it was going.
Hell, even if you were going slow, that's still fast.
Yeah, that was fast, man.
Sprinting was that 7-8 miles an hour?
Right.
So? Not even Usain Bolt can do it that fast.
Yeah, man. So we pulled up, got off, went inside, checked on the kiddos, shared our burritos, we prayed and went to bed, man. But that really did remind me of that one moment, dude, when I saw that stuff. That was pretty crazy.
I bet you got the chills.
Oh, yeah, dude, because, I didn't see no legs. It was just a hooded person, man. He's all black, floating fast. I couldn't see, I couldn't even, understand what that could be. The only thing I could figure is probably death, was wandering around.
Death was out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Looking for somebody.
Yeah,
and,
man.
I was talking to a cousin of mine. Shout out to Mr. Brown Al. That's a real joke for him. That's my cousin Alvaro, man. We were talking earlier, and when we were younger, right, we were all at our abuelita's house, and we were in the kitchen, right, and from the kitchen you go still doorway, living room, and then outside to the front porch and all that, going outside. Man, we saw something in the window, right? Everybody saw it. I mean, the way I remember it, we're screaming and shit. We're hiding. My abuelita's protecting us, right? She's the hen and we're the little chicks, right? She's protecting us. We're freaking out, right? What the fuck is that? And they're like, oh no, it's Abuelito, right? And so we go to the door. Well, I didn't go to the door. Alvaro goes to the door, right? And he's looking. He's like, I don't see no feet, right? Oh man! And then all of a sudden, fucking Abuelito comes out of the restroom, way. Holy shit,
bro.
So scared, way. Dude, so scared.
What? So everybody thought it was Abuelito.
Yeah, we thought it was Abuelito. Yeah, he was in the restroom.
Oh, bro. Fuck.
It was, again, I lived in Barstow pretty much as a youngster. All the bad shit happened out there, man. It was one of the scariest things I ever went through.
That's crazy, bro.
Hey, you know what I was going to say? You know how the first part, right, in part 1, we were talking about stories that we were reading that happened in years ago, history.
Right.
So I heard a story. I guess, I don't know, you guys probably heard it with your parents. I guess it happened with our parents, right? They said there was I don't know if it was a Green Lantern or Club Suavecito, that they said they found that some lady was dancing or a guy was dancing with a guy who had goat legs.
It was Oasis.
Oasis?
Oasis.
It was one of them?
Nah.
Yeah, I remember somebody said, hey, man, yeah, man.
The Oasis.
You know what? I heard it from, shout out to the Reaper Barber. He's the one who told me about this. And I was like, man, you know what? I wasn't living at the time here. But then little by little, I started asking people before we came to the podcast. And they were telling me, yeah, man, there was a guy or a girl with the goat legs.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
hey, man, you know what? I heard something similar too.
I don't know, like I say, if it's true, Man, we would like to hear who
Hey, man.
saw it.
Yeah.
I heard something similar as well, like that. But they told me it was in Bombery where that cross
The
is.
cross on the mountain.
Yeah,
as you're walking in
supposedly
or driving
it
in.
was dancing with somebody, and everybody chased it, and it was jumping from car to car, and it went up to that hill, and it spun, and it just went into the ground. And that's why they put the cross there for it not to come back up. That's what I heard, but I don't know. You know, everybody has.
Dude, if someone's from Balmorhea, hook us up with the answer for that.
Yeah, man. There was also I heard one.
I heard different. Okay, so I heard that one.
Right.
And then there's another one towards the Balmorhea mountains as well. I guess there was a priest, and I'm talking about like in the 1800s, 1700s, that he found gold. He found gold, and I guess they wanted to kill him because they wanted that gold. He went and stashed it, hid it somewhere in the mountains, and I guess when he tried to come down, they got him, right? But they murdered him. So if you when you're around near that gold, he said that he will try to come out and try to stop you from getting it.
Man, I want to go out there now.
So talking about mountain, it can be both stories. I don't know if it's true.
Well, there was another one I heard of, but it was here in Pecos, supposedly at the museum, man.
Oh, yeah.
At the museum
Pecos Museum.
Somebody coming from Orla, I don't know if it was a pumper or what, they saw a lady that peeks out at the top door.
Yeah.
On the balcony.
Mm-hmm.
And then supposedly they saw her standing there. And he didn't think anything of it because he thought maybe somebody that worked there, but it was pretty late at night. Supposedly, like, she went through the door and walked out to the balcony. That's when he freaked out. I don't know if that's true. If you guys have, like, been here longer than I have, can let us know about that if that's true. Or what have you experienced at that museum, man?
Man, the only time I've ever actually gone to the museum, did the tour and all that stuff, right? I was a real small kid, 3rd grade maybe, right? I don't remember the age, but I could have swore there was like a mummy there.
Well, they said, yeah. Me and Daniel talked about that.
And that
Have
was,
you been there, Laura?
Yeah,
I've never been there.
I've been
Dude,
there,
you gotta check that shit.
I've never been there.
But look,
go to the museum.
yeah, Daniel Acosta, man, he's telling me about that. We were talking about that earlier, actually, because I brought this up. And he was telling me that mummy, they had it there, then they put it up, and I think they were borrowing it from another museum, so they sent it back. That's why you don't see it there anymore. That he got to see it when he was small. I go, what did it look like? Because I never seen it, you know? And he was like, man, I don't know. He's like, to me it looked fake, but you never know. Right? And I go, so was it from here? It's like, nah, man. Word is that they borrowed it to show it, but then that museum wanted it back, so they sent it back.
Give me my spirit back.
You know what? Another one that I heard. Okay, so I told him a story to one of the COs, and I guess it relates like a correctional officer.
Where at the prison?
In the prison.
Right.
So when I got out, I used to hang out with a bunch of COs and party with them and everything. I'm not gonna say names. There's no more prison anyways. But
we're not laughing. There's no prison.
It was so crazy because I said what happened to me when I was in the SHU, and because I mentioned the SHU, a bunch of COs that I was hanging out, they're like, "What, man? There was something that was going on in the Pecos prison at the SHU that they would see feet walking, and they would see the shadow, and then they would look outside, and nobody was outside.
Oh,
yeah. So I don't know if you guys,
it was a big ass raton.
Yeah, right. It was the raton from the Ninja Turtles. Splinter.
Yeah.
So
hey, yeah,
that's
anybody
crazy,
worked
bro.
at the prison, hook us up with some info on that.
Tell us what
We
you
can
heard,
expand.
because what I'm gonna say my experience when I was in the SHU. I was in Florence, Colorado at the medium. Big riot happened. Sent me to the SHU. I'm there for 8 months, and I don't know. I mean, I probably was going cuckoo because I was in the SHU for 8 months, and I lasted there for 10 months, and finally they put me somebody with a guy, paisa. I just know he was a paisa, and he would always say, "Man, you don't see him? He's staring at us." I say, "Who?" Like, and I more like a stronger believer. Like it was hard for me to see something because I didn't really believe in ghosts. I didn't really believe in anything like until this point. He kept saying it for like 2-3 months, like I would say 6, 7, 8 months. And he kept saying, man, he stands there, man, and he's watching us. So one day I hear the lady say, count time. And you got to stand up, right? You got to stand up. She passes with the flashlight, make sure you're in your cell and everything. So we're in the last cell far away. We don't hear her saying count time, and we're supposed to stand up, and then once she passes, then you can go back to bed. Well, we don't hear her saying count time. Well, I'm believing that we didn't hear it. You hear the keys, and I wake up. I just got spooked out because I can hear the keys, the seals getting closer. I open my eyes and I see somebody, a face image, staring at us. And I look down and I say, man, how come you didn't wake me up, bro? That the lady was the officer was passing by saying count time, because he was literally awake. So I'm on the top bunk. I'm looking down and I say, how come you didn't wake me up? He's like right awake. And then he said, that wasn't the lady, bro. I was like, what? I said, no, that wasn't the lady. Look, she's coming. And surely enough, flashes it. And we're like,
fuck.
What? And I told him, hey, what was it? That's the guy that I'm telling you that I've been seeing every single time staring at us.
Pinche demonio had a crush on you, Smokey.
Dang, I was like,
fuck that. Bro, hold on. Here's a local, all right? So my cousin Slim, right? He had someone spend the night at his house, right? And I remember the guy telling the story to me. He's like, yeah, man, I stayed at your cousin's house, and we were going to bed already, right? And he said, man, I couldn't like sleep because there was somebody standing at the doorway looking at us, right? And so he's like, hey, Jimmy, who's that guy? And he's just standing at the door. He said, Jimmy was asleep, and he kind of woke up, looked around, he's like, oh, don't worry about it, it's my grandpa. Right? And he's like, oh, all right. But the dude's telling the story. He's like, well, I couldn't sleep. Like, I didn't sleep anyways, man. I was just uncomfortable. Just kept looking at the doorway, right? The grandpa wasn't there no more. But, man, I just kept looking at that door, like, thinking he was going to come back, And the next morning, right, they're up and breakfast is being made and stuff. And he's just, like, looking around for grandpa, right? Like, where's grandpa at, right? And he's like, hey, Jimmy, where's your grandpa, man? He doesn't eat breakfast with y'all? And he's like, my grandpa? What do you mean? He's like, well, last night, man, he was standing in the door. And he said, don't worry about it. It's my grandpa. And he's like, dude, my grandpa's dead. What? Holy.
Oh, man.
He's like, I never want to stay there again.
Talking about being dead, well, I guess that the one I saw at Florence, Colorado, he, I guess, had passed away. He had hung himself because of lack of, they weren't paying attention. And then as I'm saying this stuff, that's when one of the correctional officers in Pecos would say, that I guess it happened something like that because one of the guy who passed away was at the SHU and they were getting him his medications. And that's why they made that riot. I don't know if you remember, there was a riot here and they burned the buildings and stuff like that.
There's a couple riots, no?
There's been a couple.
Yeah. So and that guy passed away, and that's what happened. That they say that his soul, or I guess his soul, is still there.
Still there hunting, pulling tricks.
Damn, yeah.
Shit, bro. I can only imagine, man. What did I have, man? I heard one that happened to us. Well, I guess we'll keep it for the next one then.
Yeah, if it's a long one, maybe.
Yeah, it's too long, bro.
Y'all ever have dreams? Y'all ever have like spooky dreams
I've had
like
a lot of them, man.
Oh, yes. Man, I told one to Loa. Let me see if I can finish it real quick. So I told Loa this barely like a week ago. So I used to have a dream, and I would tell my wife, hey, babe, I've been having dreams of my son, finding my son inside a battery, floating around. And I opened the latch, and I picked up his head, and it was my son. 6 months later, there's a news saying that they found kids in Colorado inside a battery.
Oh yeah, man, that's
Yeah,
the
that
American
dude.
Horror Story. No,
Yeah.
no. The American Family, I
the
believe.
American
isn't it?
Family, the
Yeah.
Conical. Oh no, was it Conical?
No, it was Anadarko.
Anadarko, yeah.
Fucking sick, motherfucker.
And then my wife would tell me, "Remember, babe, you were having that dream, and you thought it was your son." Okay, yeah. And it was 6 months before it really happened, and
Dude,
I
you know-
really thought it was my, like, I was thinking it was my kids.
And I don't know if it's true or not, right? But there was a commercial when they're recording all this, right? The
Oh, that
video.
shit pops up, right?
Well, so
skull sometimes?
yeah, right. So in the
Yeah.
background on the TV is like oil-soaked skulls while they're talking to the guy, right?
Yeah.
Asking him questions, and the TV's just on.
Everybody was freaking out about that shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
They're trying to come through and let them know that they were dead.
Yeah, we're right.
Anyways,
here.
guys, well, we ran out of time.
Shoot, it was
We
fast.
wish we could keep going.
These stories get good, man. And
I
the
know y'all
time
probably
flies.
watching the lions, and y'all like, it's because they're scary too, man. They're scary. You don't want to face them.
Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, man. We'll see you guys next time. And thanks for everything. And follow us on
Keep
Messenger.
following us. Keep subscribing. It's going up.
Peach Street Podcast, man, all the
Peach
social
Street-
media.
Yeah,
That's
Peach
right,
Street
that's right.
Podcast views are going up. Thank you a lot.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. And here we go. I'm Smokey Lonjas.
This boy Pistol Pete.
Mr. Loa, and have a good night, guys.
Have a good night.
God bless.
Peace.